Hello guys, I'm back with another Neca retro review, and today I have my Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason Voorhees retro style, retro cloth action figure. Here he is in his package, which looks very cool. You can see the figure there, so there's quite a lot of reflections. I'm trying to light my reviews up a bit more. He's held on the right side of the package, just like all retro figures were. You can see the figure, his accessories, they're all showcased very nicely. Ages 17 and up, and this awesome artwork here, which I'll show you more when I take this out of the package, because that does look really cool. And what you do is you cut it along the sides, and then you're able to just, as you can see, open it and then seal it back up if you want to display it in the package. A bit of a bio there. The person who did the artwork, Jason Edmiston, quite ironic. The figure there, looking very cool. Friday the 13th Part 2. The price, this was $29.95, as I did get it when I was on holiday in Beverly Hills. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to actually take the card out as well and just give you a look at that, because it does look really cool. I'll just put all this to the side as well. That is awesome. You've got Pamela Voorhees there, who was played by Betsy Palmer, with a severed head, her jumper, the candles. There Jason is with his really cool pickaxe, and that just looks awesome. He's in that barn place where the girl, I can't remember the characters' names, but the girl puts on this jumper and she's like, Jason, mother is talking and stuff like that. And then when she moves out of the way, he sees the decapitated head, and then I think he goes to hit her with his machete, I think, and he hits her leg. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Hillbilly Jason, as he's been called before, looking very cool. Just another look at the back. Very cool. I've heard other people say as well that it's just such an awesome, they're just such awesome, the concept images are, and yeah, they are. They really are awesome looking. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to remove Jason from his plastic prison. No need for a pause, it's not going to take me long, just a few seconds. Everybody's day has been good, I hope. While I take this out. Alright then, we're done. Jason, who, just like Freddy Krueger, doesn't really like to stand particularly well. Although he's even worse than Freddy though. I need to give Freddy his due where this figure is concerned. Okay, he's standing. His accessories. You have a machete. Focus in on it, please. It's got like a kind of rusty dotted pattern going along the blade as well, which is pretty cool. It's kind of rubbery, but not too rubbery. No paint on the handle on this side, but there is that like kind of metal thing going through in between the two plastic handles. Continues all the way around. And they do have the rivets painted here, but not here. Not a big deal. I'm not going to display them with the machete, so oh well. As you can see, there's that. Very cool. It's quite sharp as well. And I'm sure he kills 2 people with the blunt end in the film, from what I remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, which is kind of weird, but yeah. He holds it well, as you can see there. And he just like, boom. Right in the guy in the wheelchair's head. Which is an awesome death. Sorry about that, guys. I just needed to take a quick pause as my phone rang. Anyway, moving on, that's not important. I was talking about accessories, and he has a very nice looking pitchfork. Now, when I say very nice, I mean it's sculpted nicely. As you can see here, you can see the pitchfork section with the 4 prongs, the way it connects to like the wooden staff. That looks cool. The wooden staff and the handle here, but there's rivets there, and you can see this is meant to be like the wooden part of the handle, and this will be the metal part, I think. But whoops, it looks pretty crap actually when you move away from sculpting. I mean, this could have been more silver-like or more grey-like, and similar up here. And they could have had more of like a wood grain texture along this staff. I know Neca can do it. I've seen them do it before. Why they haven't, I don't know. Because if I take his other accessory, his pitchfork, as you can see there, it does have that wood grain on there. So why it's not on here, I don't know. It's slightly irritating, but nothing too major, and I'm not really going to bother going on about it. He holds it relatively well, I suppose. You have to kind of pry it through his thumb and fingers because it's quite a solid hand, really. Oops. Just being careful not to put pressure on it. There we go. Now I suppose because this hand's more of a grasping hand, you can just be like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool, I suppose. It's the fact that he comes with it. And the accessory that I display him with is this pitchfork. As you can see there, it's got like, zoom in please. It's got a nice wood grain going on with it, as you can see there. It looks very nice. It's like a dark brown green almost. You've got silver there with the wood bit there, and it looks very nice. He holds it well. Although he doesn't have another second gripping hand, I just have him hold it like that on display, so it looks good, like as if he's just done killing someone and he's just tapping his hand with that, like, you know, you see some workmen do stuff like that. Now that that's out of the way, onto the figure itself. It looks very good for the most part. It's a tad bit too baggy in the legs, but I don't mind. The dungarees, they look very good, as you can see here. They're an actual denim material, which is good, and it just looks good as well. You've got some white stitching there near the shoes, some white stitching here for his pockets and what have you, and similar underneath the hood, which I will remove in a minute. Speaking of the hood, can you make it out in there? Yep. The eye of Jason Voorhees, which is pretty cool. It's an actual burlap material with some string around it, but you actually have to untie it to get it undone, which is kind of stupid. I think this could have personally been easily avoided with a really good idea, and that is have something pre-tied wrapped around it and have it like elasticate. So all you need to do is take it off, put it back on, put the elastic back around it, so you don't have to tie it, because it can be quite irritating to retie, especially if you're not really that good with threading and what have you. You know, I've never been good with that kind of stuff, so yeah. And it also is kind of starting to split on the end here, one of the threads you can make out there, so that's kind of irritating, but oh well. He has a nice shirt. It's made out of like an actual material that shirts are made out of as well, like a kind of silky material almost, so that's pretty cool. He's just got a pretty basic hand. I can't remember if it's his right hand or his left hand, but I still think it would be cool if he had like a blackened thumb, like, because he has a knife in that scene. Why this figure doesn't come with a knife, I don't know, but you know, he's just like boom, and his thumb's all black, and that's pretty cool. Here we just have like a kind of gripping hand with veins and whatnot showing through there, which looks really awesome. His fingertips, his palm, very nice. His shoes, it's basic black really. They have a tad bit of a blue wash on them, similar to Freddy Krueger's shoes. Heels, tread, copyright crap, and it just looks good. Now, whoopsie daisy. Time for the reveal. I accidentally tied a knot in the back there. Bless him, he's so pretty, isn't he? I'm joking, he's absolutely horrible. Look at it. Looks just like he did in the film though, with his like kind of underdeveloped head, like where the left side's more like down and what have you. His ears like kind of ingrown and stuff. It looks awesome. His hair, he's got like a strand there. The beard texture, the hillbilly teeth, just having one eyebrow. It looks awesome. The hair continues on the back. It's got like a nice kind of reddish wash going through it as well, which looks pretty effective. And you can also see he has pockets stitched in there with his dungarees and everything, looking very cool. This white thread tends to come undone a bit, but I wouldn't recommend pulling it, as you might take the threading out. And he has clasps on his dungarees which actually work. You just push them forward and then they unhook themselves here where it gets a bit wider, as you can see there. So that's pretty cool. You're able to do it on both sides, and yeah, he has buttons along his shirt, which they didn't really need to include, but it's pretty cool. His collar, very nice. And yeah, it's just pretty easy to put back together. You just basically like a real pair of dungarees. Not that I wear dungarees. I used to own a pair when I was little. Not now though. I am too cool. I'm joking. I probably wouldn't wear them if I did have any though. It's just not really my thing. The eye hole is pretty. I've seen pretty big. I've seen somewhere it's kind of smaller, but on this one it looks kind of big. It reminds me of that scene from Django Unchained with Jonah Hill. Where, oh god, that's a funny scene. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, but I'll just show you articulation before I put his tie back on. Well, before I tie it back up, I should say. His articulation in the head. It's kind of stiff, but nothing overly bad. A swivel in the waist, like a waist cut. He has articulation in his arms, his elbow, which is again not the best of bends. In his wrist, he can swivel and hinge, which is cool. And it feels like, oh yeah, it does come out very easily. There's articulation in his leg, that really bad bend in the knee and a swivel in the boot. What this needs is an ankle rocker, because he really doesn't stand particularly well and his foot's always in a weird position. But oh well. Anyway, to tie this back on, what I do is, although I know it's like tied up a bit neater, I can't be asked to do that. I mean, I'm not good with crafting, like with threads and all that stuff anyway, so what I do essentially is, because I just want to pull it off easily and I don't want to form any unnecessary knots, basically I skip the first part of tying shoelaces. I make that little loop there. Then what I do is my own version. I wrap this around this loop once. Oops. And then I feed it. Oh god, this is going to be hard to do on camera. Then I feed it through that loop. If I can reach it with my fingers. Got it. And then I pull it tight. Lovely. And of course I try and make sure that the eye is as visible as possible before I tighten it. There we go. And as you can see there, his eye is actually visible through there. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's that. It's a very nice figure, this. It's a really good attempt. I always liked this outfit of his from Part 2. Part 2 is a good film. My favourite film of Friday the 13th is Part 3 though. And I would love to get my hands on a Part 3 Jason, and I intend to soon. So yeah, that's that. I would give him an 8 out of 10. I gave Freddy a 7 because he didn't really come with anything, but he did what he had to do. But because this comes with the multitude of accessories, you know, a machete, a pitchfork, his pickaxe, the removable mask, and because it's just really nice in general. Yeah, I think 8's a pretty good rating, and just for size comparison's sake. Bring Mr. Kruger in, old Frederick. Yeah, they're pretty good, pretty well in scale with each other, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review, guys. I have another horror style action figure to review soon as well. So yeah, take care.